The market was closed today, but it was a big day nonetheless. Yesterday, we had the SEC close their investigation on Ethereum. Bitcoin is holding up, even though it kind of fell down in a big way. CleanSpark had some big news come out. Let's talk about all of that right now. So first of all, you've probably heard this by now. The SEC has closed its investigation into Ethereum. This was as of yesterday evening. This news came out, and they are no longer investigating Ethereum as a security. So that's great. That's really big news. And yesterday, you can see that Ethereum here was up about 2%. Not the momentous kind of move you expected to see off of that news, but nonetheless, we got a 2% move up. This is looking very much like a double bottom here. So let's close this off right now. And then I'm going to turn on my drawings. Oh no, I have them on already. Okay, so we got a bottom right here and a bottom right here. As soon as we get above, and let me just actually move this one. As soon as we get above 3660, it's go time. And we're going right back up towards probably 3800, maybe even 3900 off of that double bottom move right there. So pay attention to that. The only thing in our way from getting there is, well, the 20-day moving average, but that's also at the midline for this double bottom. So if we clear 3660, we're going up towards 4,000 on Ethereum. That's pretty awesome. If we come down this low again towards 3350 and we break 3350, we're coming all the way down probably to about 3,000. We're going to come down to about 3,000 if we break below 3360. But things are looking up. This is very much looking like a double bottom. We just need to get above 3660, and then we are flying high back up towards 4,000 on Ethereum. So that's basically the outlook on Ethereum right now. As soon as we get above 3660 or below 3360, we're having a good time or a bad time. So I do think this looks like it's flattening out. If I turn on my fib here, yeah, we're right in the middle there. There's a lot of room to the upside. On the downside, the lowest I think we'd go is about 3,000, yeah, where it would catch us. And on the way up, the cloud all the way up here is at 4337. So we're really pretty in a nice spot to go up or down if we get below 3360. So right now I'm just kind of watching, but the volume is going up. All volume is increasing. We're about to cross over the 50 RSI on the daily. So that's very interesting as well for Ethereum. That's pretty good. Let's take a look at how Bitcoin costs are going right now. You can see on the mempool here, it is 237 for high priority. No priority is 73 cents for Bitcoin transactions. So we're hanging out between $1 and $2.37 here on that right now, which is significantly lower than it's been in the past. But, this is higher than it could be. I mean, we've seen it as low as in the 20-cent range here, so this isn't terrible, not too bad at all. See how Bitcoin is doing. So this is Bitcoin on the daily. We are below the 50, so below the 20 and the 50 and the 5. This isn't great. Not gonna lie, this isn't great. The volume here is starting to curl up, but it's not going up yet. The RSI down. We're in bear territory on the daily here. This is not looking too hot. We are in this downward trend. I want to see it hold up. So let me get rid of this. All right, so let me get rid of that. Yeah, and let me get rid of this. Okay, so we want to hold on this line right here, this descending line right here. We want this to act as descending support for us so that when we do launch, we can come very quickly back up to 70, versus if we lose this descending support right here, we fall all the way back down to $60,000 on this thing right now. That is exactly what's going to happen if we don't do that. But there is a little bit of a shining light here. So if we come here like this, draw this here, and if I take this and draw this like this, yeah, there we go. We're creating a bit of a falling wedge here. Let me just even that out a little bit. Yeah, we're creating a little bit of a falling wedge here. So if we break above this line, I think we're very quickly going to come up towards $72,000 again, very quickly once we do break that line. But if we break beneath this, we could fall very quickly down to like 62.8, or even come all the way back down to $60,000 again, which would be pretty unfortunate, but it might happen. I'm not really seeing anything behind here in the formation that's really telling me that it wants to. There was a bit of a double top. You can see one top here, another one there. It's both at about $72,000. As soon as we broke that midline at 66,641, as soon as we broke that, we were on our way down a little bit further. And the very bottom of this double top move would be about 62.9. And I hope we don't get that low. That would not be great, but I don't think we'd stay there very long at all if we did. Let's take a look at the weekly real quick. How's the weekly looking on this thing? Let me turn off drawings. Weekly is interesting. We need to hold above $60,000. If we go beneath $60,000, this here becomes a double top. And if we get a double top on Bitcoin that is that large, we're coming all the way back down to 43,877 if this ends up being a double top. So be prepared for that. Now, I don't think we'll get a move that far down because that would be what, like a 50% retracement? Yeah, or 40. Okay, that would be a 40% retracement from the tops there. That would hurt. That would hurt pretty bad. Now we've seen those kinds of moves before on Bitcoin. We have. But it needs to hold above $60,000. If it gets below $60,000, we're quickly going to go into the low to mid 50s, and then again down, possibly all the way down to the low 40s if we lose $60,000. Now, we haven't lost it before. You can see here on the weekly, these were wicks that tapped it. Nothing closed below it, so we never lost it. But if we do lose it, yeah, it's going to be a bad time for us, at least short term. Long term, I'm still not concerned. Long term, if we came all the way down to here, that is still a bullish looking chart, because we would come back down to support, test it, which would be a lot of this historic support, and then we'd launch off of that again. Okay, let's take a look at CleanSpark. CleanSpark had an announcement for us yesterday. CleanSpark announces they had an acquisition of 5 new Bitcoin mining facilities in Georgia, adding 60 megawatts of infrastructure to their current hash, which would add about 3.7 exahash upon full installation. So they're going to get very quickly beat their 20 exahash goal, since they're currently at 18 exahash. Another 3.7 would take them to 21.7 exahash when all of those miners are installed. So that is excellent, and that is why we saw CleanSpark take off yesterday. We had a nice, like, look at this weekly. I mean, we're still midweek, but on the week, we've only had 2 days and we're up almost 10%. We're holding up near $20. This was kind of the news that we were looking for on CleanSpark, and it is taking us out of this descending channel. So we closed out of it. Now we're still touching it, so we're not out of it yet. You see how the bottom of the candle from Tuesday still touched the top of this thing? That means we are not out of the woods yet. But what it does mean is that once we get up and we close above, honestly, since these are all wicks, I mean, I'll connect 3. Above $19. If we can hold above $19 for a couple of days, this starts to look like a double bottom area right here, maybe even a triple bottom if you want to include this one here. And yeah, be about 1925, somewhere in that little area, like right here. We close above this and hold above this right here. Ooh, we are going to very quickly come up to 2134, possibly in a quick way. We might find ourselves back into the mid to high 20s on CleanSpark here once that is done there. So it looks like 15, or honestly the 1340 or whatever it did happen back here in April was the low, the 1371, and then again we had 1423. They had to scare us a couple of times around that $15 mark before taking off there with this good news. So I do think that we are likely to see this thing continue to go up. Let me take a look at this. Yeah, we're way above all of the SMAs. The 5 is down here at about $18. If we can hold above 19 and have that 5 come and meet us, that's going to be a really good sign for this move up on CleanSpark. Let's take a look at the fib clouds here. The fib clouds, yeah, the top of the cloud. So yeah, the top end of the cloud, or the bottom end of the top cloud, is at $26.89. The top end is up at $31. I do think that sometime soon we could find ourselves up in this area based on these moves, just how strong this support has been and how we are finally starting to move up without a huge wick. Like if you notice the last couple of times we went up this big, we ended up with some nice like dojis or a nice long wicked candle. We got 2 pretty strong weekly candles or daily candles showing up here right now. And if we can do a third one, I think we might see a nice big move up, and then followed by a flag, and then further upside on this one. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen here, especially if this weekly candle that we're looking at right now, like our current week, if this closes without a big wick on top, like if we can keep it a solid bar, that would be such a bullish candle for CleanSpark. So look out for that weekly close on CleanSpark. Let's make this candle a solid body all the way up, hopefully closing around 20 or maybe even over $20. If we get a close over $20 on the weekly with a solid bar, solid body candle, not really much of a wick on top, I'm going to be very, very bullish about next week and the week after for CleanSpark. So anyways, that's all I got for you today on this holiday. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and have a profitable day.